Brothers and sisters, how are you doing? I pray and hope you are doing well. I have a little bit of extra time today because we're still dealing with sick cows, and so the family's out there bottle feeding a couple of them and bag feeding a couple of them, just trying to figure out what is going on. I think we got to the bottom of it. I think we may have been giving them too much enriched formula, the stuff that we're feeding them. It's possibly making them sick. I don't know, but that's the current theory we are on to. But that is not what this video is about. This video is about something that I believe is of utmost importance to all of us. And there's something to be had for our indoctrination where every school that we've ever been into, we begin with a spinning ball and we're told what to believe. We're told how fast the ball is going. And when you do a little bit of critical thinking on the speed of the ball and what they say it is going, and the directions it's going. We're not just going in one direction. We're going in a couple different directions. And we're going fast. We're going fast, thousands of miles an hour. And, water is sticking to this. And they give us a magical formula called gravity. And we're so indoctrinated into this that the first time people talk about this and about an earth being something other than what it is, we're led to call people crazy. Conspiracy theories, right? Conspiracy theorists. Another nut job, a guy with a tinfoil hat. But it doesn't take a tremendous amount of thinking to think about the lakes and the streams that we've seen before, where we'll have a lake that is perfectly still. Or the times when no wind is blowing at all, it's perfectly still. And then we're told about different atmospheres where there's things that are spinning around that look, that match exactly where we're at. Imagine this, if you would. They say that you're on a spinning ball that's going thousands of miles an hour. But the dish network guy, the satellite guy, he can't be 1 degree to the left or 1 degree to the right, up or down or left, or you lose TV. How many times have you had a windstorm and you lose TV because it's dialed in exactly? But they say that it's okay because the satellites in lower orbit or higher orbit, or whatever the lie is, are matching the Earth exactly. But how is that even possible? That would say that nothing above us is moving if you're able to have a satellite that never ever moves that's pointed to the exact same location time and time again. It's just crazy. But yet we're so indoctrinated we don't think about things like this. When we Google search a live picture of Earth, we're given cartoons. We're giving stuff that isn't real. We're giving mockery. There's nothing here. This, Earth views from the space station, that's what we're led to believe. This is the real thing. What about these thousands of satellites that are all around us all times? Why have we never seen anything but a cartoon picture of a satellite? And if there's thousands of satellites around our head at any given time, why have we never seen one crash down the road? Why have we never, ever seen one? People are like, oh, we've seen them crash somewhere. And you'll see bottles and cans and tinfoil and the same stuff as what they called the moon landing, right? If they lied to us about the moon landing, what else are they trying to hide? In an age of deception, one of the greatest deceptions of all time is to hide the Creator from us. How do you hide the Creator from us? Well, you tell them that we're just a little tiny speck in a giant solar system that amounts to everywhere vast, and it doesn't really matter because there's life forms everywhere else. But yet in the Bible, over and over and over, it tells us the earth is the footstool. It says there's foundations. It's unmovable. It doesn't move. And if we're led to believe the book of Enoch, then NASA must be a lying entity. Enoch 18:1. This is Enoch. I then surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they contributed to adorn the whole creation, and to guard the foundation of the earth. Wait a second. Again, a foundation of the earth? Hold on. I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. Wait a second. What corners, foundation? I also beheld the four winds which bear upon the earth and the expanse of the heaven. Wait a second, is this the four winds that we're talking about in Revelations? It's always about the four corners, four ends. When Hasatan took Messiah up to a high point and he was able to observe all the kingdoms of the earth, how is that possible on a round ball? I just asked myself that, and I ask you to think about this. Because if they're trying to hide the place that we live, they're trying to hide creation, which means they're trying to hide the Creator, which means they're trying to hide the Messiah, right? If our Creator is literally outside of a little dome, looking in, watching at His creation, watching how it unfolds, and we didn't even know. We just thought He was billions of light years away and doesn't care about us individually, doesn't understand the individuality and the uniqueness of this. Verse 4, and I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and of earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. Wait a second, are we on a foundation, and then there's pillars, and he can see the foundations going up to heaven? I saw the winds, which turned the sky, which caused the orb of the sky and of all the stars to set. And over the earth I saw the winds, which support the clouds. I saw the path of the angels. I perceived the extremity of the earth, the expanse of the heaven above it. Then I passed on towards the south, where burnt both by day and night 6 mountains formed of glorious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. Those which were towards the east were of a variegated stone, and one of which was margate, I'm sure I slaughtered that, and another of antimony. Those towards the south were of a red stone. The middle one reached to heaven like the throne of Elohim, a throne composed of alabaster, the top of which was of sapphire. I saw, too, a blazing fire hanging over all the mountains. And there I saw a place on the other side, on an extended territory where waters were collected. I likewise beheld terrestrial fountains deep in the fiery columns of heaven. And in the columns of heaven I beheld fires which ascended without number, but neither on high nor into the deep. Over these fountains also I perceived a place which had neither the expanse of heaven above it, nor the solid ground underneath it, neither was there water above it, nor anything on wing, but the spot was desolate. And there I beheld 7 stars like great blazing mountains and like ruach entreating me. Then the angel said, this place until the consummation of heaven and earth will be the prison of the stars and the host of heaven. Wait a second. Consummation of heaven and earth. Does that mean heaven and earth is passing away? Nope. It sounds like at some point, whenever it's all said and done, that heaven and earth will be combined. A consummation, a joining together. Will be so until then. It's going the stars, the heavens. It's the prison of the stars, right? What are you talking about? The prison of the stars? Well, let's figure this out. 16. The stars which roll over fire are those which transgressed the commandment of Elohim before their time arrived, for they came not in their proper season. Therefore was he offended with them and bound them until the period of the consummation of their crimes in the secret year. This is very weird. When you look at a star and you look at a twinkling star and it just sits there and twinkles, and you're like, what in the world is this? And this is more pieces of the puzzle that we get. But the question becomes, if they're hiding the shape of the earth from you, why are they trying to hide the Creator from you? Guys, this is why the Torah is of utmost importance. The Torah will always be what we must have, because our Creator will open your eyes. He will give you wisdom. Guys, salvation begins at the cross. Our Messiah calls. His blood was shed for all of us, and by His stripes we are healed. Much love. I'm out.